this is Sonali and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is a special day because this is not only my first long form YouTube video, but it's also going to be the first time I'm going to be doing my makeup in the last 2.5 years. The last time I put on makeup was during my graduation, which was back in May 2023, and even then it was just BB cream, blush, highlighter and eyeliner. But today we're going to be leveling up. I actually want to learn how to do makeup properly, or at least give it my best attempt. So if you're a beginner like me, this is going to be the perfect tutorial for you to follow along. And if you're not a beginner, you might enjoy the chaos. So let's get started. The first step of every makeup routine is to prepare your skin and make sure that it's hydrated, just so makeup doesn't cling to those dry patches. I'm going to start off with this Rice Brightening Serum by Skin Food. It just gives my skin such a beautiful glow and also helps a lot with texture. So I'm going to take like 5 pumps and then evenly apply it all over my face. I want to make sure that I get this area and around the mouth because that's where I tend to get more dry. Then I'm going to make sure that I dry it off completely with this fan. You could also air dry it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't dry completely, it can pill, and that's going to lead to your makeup pilling eventually. Next, I'm going to go in with this Cocokind Revitalizing Eye Cream. This is going to make sure that my under eyes are not dry, and that's going to help prevent creasing. And it also has like this cooling metal tip applicator that I'm a huge fan of. So what I'm going to do is just squirt out a little bit of the product and dab it here, and then a little more, and then this side. And then I'm just gonna press this, and it just provides this nice depuffing sensation. And then whatever is left, I'm just gonna put it on my eyelids, and then pretty much the same thing here as well. And again, I'm gonna let this dry completely before moving on to the next step. The last step of the skincare prep and the most important step is sunscreen. No matter if I'm just gonna be at my home or if I'm gonna be stepping out, I make sure to wear sunscreen every single day, and I'm gonna do it today as well. So this is one of my favorite sunscreens. It's a K-Beauty sunscreen by this brand called Skin 1004. It's the Madagascar Centella Hyaluronic Water Fit Sun Serum. And it's SPF 50 PA++++. I don't have to wear a moisturizer whenever I'm wearing this sunscreen. It's moisturizing and hydrating enough. I like to do 2 fingers, which is, I've used this sunscreen a lot, so it's 7 pumps for me, but it can be different for a lot of people. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I make sure to cover my entire face, even my under eyes, eyelids, everything. I want to keep my whole face protected from the sun. It's just so soothing. It has Centella to provide that soothing effect. And I've gone through like 10, probably 15 or 20 bottles of this. I've been using this for, I want to say like 3 years now. And also make sure whenever you're using sunscreen, put whatever is left on your neck and at the back of your hands as well. Let this dry completely before moving on to the next step. And I've been struggling with acne for the past, I want to say more than 4 or 5 years. I have PCOS, so my acne just comes and goes whenever it pleases. So one thing that has helped in the morning is azelaic acid, which is I get the prescription strength azelaic acid. Just for the sake of this video, I decided not to put it in because I didn't know if it's gonna pill under makeup or not, but I do use it in my morning skincare routine. So moving on to the makeup section, I'm gonna be using a primer. This is the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Primer. I don't know if it's gonna fight my acne or not, but I'm just using it because it's acne safe. Like this, and take some more, just warm it up like this, and then spread it across my whole face. So the purpose of a primer is to basically prepare your skin for makeup, but I just kind of want to use it as a layer between my makeup and my skincare. The products that I'm going to be using today, I'll make sure to link them in the description. And all of this is going to be first impressions, so hopefully nothing breaks me out. A lot of the products that I have selected today are acne safe, so it shouldn't be too bad. Before concealer, actually I have a little bit of like dark circles, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a color corrector which is probably a little dark for the amount of dark circles I have, but that's okay. We'll cover it up with concealer later. So what I'm gonna do is just put a dot here, and oh, that's more than a dot, and here, and again here and here. You know what, I'm gonna use a mirror because I just cannot see myself here. I'm gonna let it sit for a couple of seconds, and I'm also gonna cover a few hyperpigmentation marks that I have. I'm gonna leave the red marks because that should be a green color corrector, but I don't have it on me. Alright, the thing with this is I just wish the applicator, or whatever this is called, was a bit thinner. Oh, by the way, this was the Morphe color corrector in the shade Papaya. I'm gonna be using this Morphe concealer brush to kind of like blend the color corrector and the concealer out. It is a dense brush, but I do appreciate that it's not stiff. Just gonna press it in, and I know it's gonna look crazy, but it's gonna get covered up with concealer. Whatever's left on the brush, I'm just gonna pat it on my eyelid. So what a color corrector does is, if you have any like dark circles or any dark marks, it's gonna cancel out that darkness. So when you put on a concealer, the concealer doesn't look gray or ashy on you. Now that's completely dry, I'm gonna go in next with this NARS Creamy Concealer in the shade Light 2.5 Creme Brulee. So concealer is basically used as a coverage product, so it's going to cover any kind of imperfections that you have. So I'm just going to put it wherever I've used my color corrector, and I'm going to put it like this and this. I'm going to let it sit for a couple of minutes while I put it everywhere else. And this concealer is also acne safe, so if you want to cover up any acne scars that you have, it's perfect for that. And then I'm going to take the same concealer brush, and I'm going to let this sit for a couple of seconds while I blend all of this in. I'm just going to push the brush in, I'm not going to drag it. It's going to prevent any brush lines. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap the concealer in with the same brush. Next step I'm gonna go in is with a skin tint. So skin tints are just light coverage foundations. One I'm gonna be using is this Maybelline Super Stay 24-hour skin tint. Unfortunately, Maybelline doesn't have testers in store, so I just kind of like guessed my shade. We're gonna see what it looks like. So this is the shade 118. So I'm going to take some of it at the back of my hand. And this is a good product. I've heard this is also acne safe, so it should not break you out. And it's also like pretty cheap. I'm going to use this Worst diffuser brush, I think it's called. Face diffuser multitasking brush. And then I'm going to pack the skin tint into my... This is definitely lighter and yellow for me. You know what? The next time I'm going to mix in some of the color corrector with the foundation just to make it more peachy and pink. And then whatever is left on the brush, I'm just gonna drag it on my neck. So now that this is fully dry, I'm gonna go in with bronzer. So bronzer is basically used to bring more warmth to your skin. So you're supposed to put it in the areas where the sun naturally hits your face, just to kind of like give a nice sun-kissed look. Again, drugstore, I'm gonna be using the Milani Cheek Kiss bronzer in the shade Spicy Season. Bronzers are supposed to be warm toned. Contours are supposed to be cool toned. I'm not gonna be using a contour for this video because I just didn't want to overwhelm myself and my skin with a lot of like new products. So I just want to make sure that all of these products work for me before adding more products. Go in again with Morphe. This is the Morphe Cream and Liquid Bronzer brush. Some of it on my brush. And then, okay, so I think the way the bronzer is supposed to be is you're supposed to put it like here, here, and then here. Okay. Is it? Oh, okay. Okay, so I think it's a little too much for me. No! Oh, Okay, I'm gonna take a beauty sponge and kind of like, because beauty sponges usually absorb the product, so I'm gonna go in with a beauty sponge and try to make this work. It does look like it's getting better. I think this is fine, it's not too bad. Lesson learned, this is pigmented, and even if it wasn't pigmented, I believe if I'm using the product for the first time, I do not want to load my brush with it. I want to go in slowly. So that's a lesson learned. So I'm gonna take some of it. And then, I don't know, I'm just gonna put it like here and here, like this. Okay. Oh no. Alright, so I'm gonna let this dry and then I'm gonna put blush on, and then we're gonna set everything with powder. So hopefully the powder kind of neutralizes whatever is going on here. If it doesn't, then it's gonna be a sad video and I'm probably not gonna post it. I'm kidding, I'm still gonna post it. I'm gonna be using blush. So this is by Essence. It's called Baby Got Blush. I think that's the shade. Oh no, the shade is 10 Pinkalicious, and product is gonna come out of this. I'm gonna put it at the back of my hand and then use a brush to kind of pick the product up and then put it on my face. Oh, there's product. And then I'm gonna put just a little bit, I don't want too much. Okay. For the brush, again, I'm gonna be using a Morphe brush. This is the Morphe Cream and Liquid brush. Take a little bit of product and I'm gonna put it like this just so my face looks lifted. Go in with the beauty sponge again. Okay, blush definitely looks alright, I think. I'm gonna do now is set everything up with a powder, and with this Say Air Set powder. It's the Radiant Loose Setting Powder. It's in the shade Translucent. I'm gonna go in with this Morphe Cloud Cushion Mini Puff. So I'm gonna put some of the powder into this pan. Load the powder puff up, the excess at the back of my hands. And then I'm gonna press this in to set all the cream and liquid products. And this setting powder is also acne safe. So the setting powder is basically gonna help blur out your skin. It's also gonna help absorb any oil, and it's gonna help set the liquid products so they don't move around. Moving on to the eye products. So first things first, I'm gonna use eyeshadow using this one again from the drugstore. It's ColourPop, the Wild Child palette. I'm gonna go in with the shade Audit, and then I'm also gonna go in with this Fierce shade as kind of like a glittery transition shade. I'm gonna take this, it is pigmented, this on this side. Then I'm gonna go in with the glittery shade, which is Fierce. This is what it looks like currently. It's not blended at all. So I'm gonna go in with a brush to kind of blend everything out into a transition. I'm gonna be using a Morphe brush. This is the Eye Blender brush. Blend both the shades together. Okay. Go in with this Stila eyeliner. It's called the Stila Stay All Day Smudge and Set Waterproof Gel Eyeliner. So this is the shade Damsel Dark Brown. It might look scary, but it doesn't hurt at all. So I'm just gonna pull my my skin down and then kind of line it like this. Pull this back down. So this is what this looks like. It basically makes my eyes look snatched. I'm gonna go in with eyeliner, and this is the NYX Epic liner. Again, this is a brown shade. It's the shade Milk Chocolate, and I don't know how to do winged eyeliner, and I'm not even gonna attempt it today. I'm gonna start from here and See the difference between this side and this side? Eyeliner basically like defines your eyes, and I'm gonna do the same thing on this side as well. We're done with the eyeliner. So I'm gonna use a setting spray to kind of like melt all the powders in together to make it look more natural, because right now it does look a little powdery. It's gonna give your makeup like a natural finish. I'm gonna be using this Makeup by Mario setting spray. It's called the Surreal Skin Soft Setting Spray. So first, let's look at the mist. Okay, it's a fine mist. I don't know how much you're supposed to use. Okay. And it's also gonna bring out like this dewy hydrated look. Last step, this is the L'Oreal Panorama Mascara. So what mascara does is it basically makes your eyelashes look more defined. Now I'm gonna let it dry, but I don't like my eyelashes to look clumpy, so I have a tool that I'm gonna show you guys that I use for mascara. So once the mascara has completely dried, I like to go in with this eyelash separator tool, which I got off of Amazon for like $4 or $5. So basically what it does, it has these like bristles, so it's gonna help separate the eyelashes to avoid them looking clumpy. So we're gonna do the same thing here. And we're done. So this was the whole makeup routine. Obviously it wasn't perfect. There was a lot of chaos with the bronzer and the blush and all of that. And but the one thing that I've learned from this is to kind of go slow. So don't pick a lot of product at once. You can build stuff up, but if you mess it up, it's gonna all look messy. And yeah, that's it. This is the final look. If you have any tips for me, or if you have like any funny makeup stories, let me know in the comments, and see you next time. Bye.